They call him the greatest of all time. A gift, a miracle. Natural talent, they say. Like it just happened to him. It didn't. He has been a mastermind. Behind every trophy, every impossible goal, every night the world called him a genius, there was a decision, a risk, a calculation most people never saw, and some he never wanted you to see at all. A courthouse in Spain, a napkin contract signed by a stranger, a country that turned on him for years before he made them regret it, a body that shouldn't have made it past 13 years old, and a mind that used every second of that setback against everyone who doubted him. This isn't the story you think you know. This is what he never told you. 12 decisions, 12 calculations, hidden in plain sight for over 2 decades. These are the dark secrets behind the success of Messi. 1. He played the financial system aggressively enough to get convicted, and it barely touched him. September 27, 2013. Lionel Messi walks into a courthouse outside Barcelona to answer questions in a criminal tax case. Spanish prosecutors allege he and his father, Jorge Messi, funneled image rights income through shell companies in Belize and Uruguay, hiding 4.1 million euros from the Spanish tax authority between 2007 and 2009. On July 6, 2016, a Barcelona court finds both men guilty on 3 counts of tax fraud. Messi and his father are each sentenced to 21 months in prison, suspended under Spanish law since it's a first offense under 2 years. On May 24, 2017, Spain's Supreme Court rejects his appeal, ruling he unequivocally understood his obligation to pay tax on that income. The sentence is converted to a fine, one that barely dents a fortune built on the very structure the court had just ruled illegal. 2. He closed his own weakest angle before anyone could exploit it. Every great one-footed player leaves defenders an escape route, a side of the body they can show the ball to, a way to force a mistake. Naturally left-footed, Messi refused to leave that door open. Coaches at Barcelona's academy noted it as far back as his teenage years. Hour after hour spent finishing, passing, and controlling with his right foot until it stopped being a weakness at all. By the time he reached the first team, defenders had nothing left to bait him into. 3. He made raw speed irrelevant by mastering the first 3 steps. He isn't even the fastest man on the pitch. Sports scientists who've tracked his top-end speed have found it unremarkable compared to out-and-out sprinters in the league. His real weapon is the first 3 steps, the acceleration burst before a defender can react. It's a domain almost nobody else was training for, because almost nobody thought to. It made him effectively unmarkable in tight spaces, without ever needing to win a foot race. 4. He compressed years of repetition into half a second of foresight. What looks like instinct on the pitch is really pattern recognition, refined over thousands of repetitions. Coaches and analysts have described it the same way for 2 decades. He reads a defense's shape before it fully forms, arriving in space that hasn't opened up yet. To an opponent, it looks like precognition. It's actually the compounded effect of a career spent seeing the same patterns over and over, until reacting became anticipating. 5. He turned a medical setback into a technical head start. At age 10, in Rosario, Argentina, in 1997, doctors diagnosed a growth hormone deficiency. Without treatment, roughly $900 a month, he might never have grown past 5 feet. Argentina's own clubs, including boyhood side Newell's Old Boys, couldn't or wouldn't cover the cost. Barcelona did, flying the family to Spain and agreeing to fund the therapy as part of signing him. Smaller for longer during those critical years, he was forced to master balance, control, and close ball skills before he ever had the frame of an athlete. Skills that were already automatic by the time his body finally caught up in his late teens. 6. He treated isolation as training time. In September 2000, at 13 years old, he moved to Spain, initially away from his mother and siblings for a period while the family's finances and paperwork stabilized. Only his father stayed with him full-time at first. Alone in a foreign country, dealing with a new accent and a new football culture, he poured the hours into La Masia, Barcelona's academy. The rondos, the small-sided possession drills, the repetition. instead of retreating from the homesickness that reportedly weighed on him during that period. 7. He picked his moment to step back and his moment to return. June 26, 2016. Argentina loses the Copa America Centenario final to Chile on penalties. Messi misses his attempt. Visibly devastated, he announces his international retirement on the spot, saying the national team era was over for him. It looks like the end of his Argentina story. Within months, under pressure from teammates, fans, and even Argentina's government, he reverses the decision and returns to the squad, setting up the two biggest moments of his international career still to come. 8. He starved the press of material on purpose. Unlike rivals who gave lengthy interviews, ran personal media channels, or courted tabloid attention, Messi has spent 2 decades giving short, guarded answers and avoiding controversy in front of cameras. Teammates and journalists who've covered him for years describe someone who simply doesn't feed the machine. The effect? Less energy spent managing narrative, image, and distraction, and more of it left for the only thing he's ever been willing to talk about at length, which is the game itself. 9. He let doubt sit unanswered for years, then answered it once, completely. For much of the 2000s and 10s, Messi was booed by sections of Argentina's own fanbase, accused of caring more about Barcelona than his country after repeated near misses in finals. 2014, 2015, 2016. He never publicly fought the narrative. Then, on July 10, 2021, Argentina beats Brazil at the Maracanã to win the Copa America, his first major title with the national team. 17 months later, on December 18, 2022, in Lusail, Qatar, he lifts the World Cup after a final against France that went to penalties. Nearly a decade of criticism, answered in a single 18-month stretch. 10. He optimized for chemistry over stardom. While many top players chase bigger transfers and fresh challenges, Messi stayed inside largely the same core group at Barcelona for over a decade. Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, and later Luis Suarez among them. That continuity gave him an on-field telepathy, knowing exactly where a teammate would be without looking, that a squad rebuilt every few seasons could never replicate in time. 11. He took lucrative deals knowing exactly what backlash they'd cost him. In 2016, Messi became a tourism ambassador for Saudi Arabia, a role that drew criticism given the kingdom's human rights record. In 2021, he joined Paris Saint-Germain, a club backed by Qatari state-linked ownership, in a move that drew scrutiny over sports washing. Both deals came with predictable public criticism, and both were signed anyway, calculated trades of image for financial upside. 12. He played a longer game than anyone watching realized. From a napkin contract in 2000, to a courthouse in Gavaa in 2013, to a trophy lift in the Qatari desert in 2022, every moment that looked like instinct, luck, or scandal was really one long calculated build, decision by decision, decade by decade. That's the real secret, not talent. Timing. This has been the Messi Files.